Imagine you're walking through the Australian wilderness when suddenly a 6-foot-tall animal with giant feet, massive leg muscles, and tiny arms appears in front of you. You'd probably think, why is there a boxing deer staring at me? But that's not a deer. That's a kangaroo. And today, we're diving into the strange, hilarious, and surprisingly impressive world of one of the most iconic animals on Earth. We'll find out why kangaroos can't walk backwards, how they use their tails as a fifth leg, why some of them literally box each other, and why they're far more powerful than most people realize. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a kangaroo the same way again. When people think of Australia, they usually think of beaches, sharks, giant spiders, or someone saying, "mate," every 3 seconds. But kangaroos are arguably Australia's most famous residents. They've been hopping around the continent for millions of years. In fact, the ancestors of modern kangaroos appeared around 20 million years ago. Today, there are more than 60 species of kangaroos and their close relatives, including wallabies and tree kangaroos. And yes, tree kangaroos are exactly what they sound like. Someone looked at a kangaroo and said, "You know what this needs? Trees." Kangaroos are like nature's experiment to see how many weird features can fit into one animal. First, those enormous back legs. A large kangaroo can leap over 8 meters or about 26 feet in a single jump. That's longer than many cars. Imagine crossing an entire parking lot in one bounce. Even more impressive, they can reach speeds of around 70 kilometers per hour, or 43 miles per hour. That's faster than many people drive through school zones. But here's the crazy part: jumping actually saves them energy. For most animals, moving faster requires significantly more effort. Kangaroos are different. Their tendons act like giant rubber bands, storing and releasing energy with every hop. So the faster they bounce, the more efficient they become. It's basically biological cheat codes. Most animals use their tails for balance. Kangaroos looked at that idea and said, "Why stop there?" Their tail is incredibly muscular and powerful. Researchers discovered that when kangaroos move slowly, they actually use their tail almost like an extra leg. So technically, kangaroos can be considered 5-limbed walkers. Think about that. You struggle carrying groceries with 2 arms. A kangaroo casually turned its tail into another limb. Overachiever. Let's talk about the feature everyone knows, the pouch. Kangaroos are marsupials, meaning their babies are born extremely early in development. A newborn kangaroo, called a joey, is about the size of a jelly bean. Seriously, after birth, the tiny joey must crawl into its mother's pouch completely on its own. No GPS, no instructions, no YouTube tutorial, just pure determination. Once inside, it attaches to a teat and continues developing for months. The pouch acts like a mobile nursery, cafeteria, and security system all in one. It's one of the most remarkable parenting strategies in the animal kingdom. You may have seen cartoons showing kangaroos wearing boxing gloves. Oddly enough, the boxing part isn't completely made up. Male kangaroos often fight each other for dominance and access to mates. These battles can be surprisingly intense. They'll stand upright, shove each other, grapple, and deliver powerful kicks. And those kicks are no joke. A large kangaroo's legs are incredibly strong and equipped with sharp claws. They're capable of causing serious injuries. In a fight, a kangaroo may balance on its tail while launching both feet forward like a furry missile. Imagine being kicked by an animal that's basically a living spring-loaded catapult. Not ideal. Here's a weird fact that sounds fake but is true. Kangaroos can't easily walk backward. Their massive tail and unique leg structure make reverse movement extremely difficult. In fact, this characteristic is so famous that the kangaroo appears on Australia's coat of arms. The kangaroo and the emu were chosen partly because neither animal can easily move backward. They're symbols of progress and moving forward. It's probably the most motivational message ever delivered by wildlife. There are a lot of kangaroos, and when we say a lot, we mean a lot. Australia sometimes has tens of millions of kangaroos. In some years, kangaroos actually outnumber humans by a significant margin. Imagine waking up and learning that giant bouncing animals vastly outnumber your species. That's everyday life in Australia. They're so common in certain regions that drivers have to be extremely careful, especially at dawn and dusk. A kangaroo suddenly appearing in front of your vehicle is not uncommon. And considering some kangaroos can weigh over 90 kilograms or nearly 200 pounds, you definitely don't want that collision. Kangaroos aren't solitary creatures. They often gather in groups called mobs. Yes, mobs, which sounds less like a wildlife term and more like an organized crime syndicate. A typical mob can include dozens of individuals. Living together provides protection because more eyes mean a better chance of spotting predators. When danger approaches, kangaroos may stomp their feet to warn others. It's basically the animal version of sending a group text that says, "Danger. Run." The internet loves pictures of adorable kangaroos. And yes, baby joeys are undeniably cute. But adult kangaroos can be intimidating. Some males become heavily muscled, especially red kangaroos, the largest kangaroo species. Photos of muscular kangaroos regularly go viral online because they genuinely look like they've spent years at a gym. Meanwhile, the rest of us get tired opening a jar. Life isn't fair. If modern kangaroos seem impressive, wait until you hear about their ancient relatives. Thousands of years ago, Australia was home to giant kangaroos. Some extinct species could grow over 2 meters tall and weigh more than 200 kilograms. That's over 440 pounds. Imagine seeing something that large hopping toward you. You wouldn't be wondering about the science. You'd be wondering how quickly you could leave. Scientists believe these giant species disappeared tens of thousands of years ago, likely due to a combination of climate changes and human impacts. Thankfully for us, today's kangaroos are slightly less terrifying. Only slightly. Here's another fact that surprises people. Kangaroos can swim, and they're actually pretty good at it. When threatened, they may enter water to escape predators. Some kangaroos have even been observed using water strategically during confrontations. Imagine being chased by a kangaroo. You think you're safe because you've reached a river. Then the kangaroo dives in after you. That would be a very confusing day. Kangaroos aren't just fascinating animals. They're an important part of Australia's ecosystems and culture. They help shape vegetation patterns, support biodiversity, and have been deeply significant to Indigenous Australian peoples for thousands of years. Today, they remain one of the most recognizable symbols of Australia worldwide. They're featured in tourism campaigns, sports logos, coins, and countless souvenirs. Not many animals get that level of celebrity status. Conclusion. So let's review. Kangaroos can leap incredible distances. They use their tails like extra legs. Their babies start life the size of jelly beans. They box each other. They swim. They can't walk backward. And some of their ancient relatives were absolutely gigantic. In other words, kangaroos are among the weirdest, toughest, and most impressive animals on the planet. The next time you see a kangaroo, remember, you're looking at a highly evolved jumping machine with built-in boxing skills and a portable baby compartment. Nature really went all out on this one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's the weirdest kangaroo fact you learned today? Thanks for watching.